Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria, and we've got your daily reading for Friday, June the 6th of 2025, and we'll touch on some weekend energies here for you as well. So today we've got a lot going on in the skies, okay? So we might want to navigate things a little bit gently today, and also into Saturday, okay? So it could be a really good time between Friday and Saturday to schedule some solitary activities, to read a book or do some housework or something, just because there's a little bit of volatile energy that is around. But Sunday gets much better, and Sunday is much chattier for us because we do have Mercury moving into the sign of Cancer. So this can be better communication around the home. This can be people talking a little bit better. So it can be quite exciting. It can also be where we, maybe take some little road trips or something as well. So it can be, a little bit more fun-loving energy. But Mercury in Cancer is talking about our home, our environment, really connecting with our family, whether it's the family we live with, our distant family, or maybe our chosen family, right? Our little spiritual soul tribe there. So this can be really wonderful whenever a planet does move signs. Sometimes things shake up a little bit. And so, of course, that's some of the energy that we may have there on Friday and Saturday. So Sunday is going to be your good day to have those conversations, to keep things lighthearted as well, and maybe even just to share some ideas. All right. We've got the Nine of Tides at the back of the deck. So what are you hoping to accomplish? Because the Nine of Tides out of this deck is your Nine of Cups. Your wish fulfillment card, your goal achievement card. So this can be a weekend for you where maybe you do achieve some sort of goals, even if it's just something mundane around the house. Maybe your goal is to vacuum, or to tidy up your bedroom, or put some laundry away, or to declutter maybe even as well. So this can be something very simple, or it can be something big that you may have a sense of accomplishment for. So, but you could also just have some underlying influence, some underlying motivation to achieve some sort of goal, or have a wish come true. We have Two of Spires coming in here. So you may feel at some point, this is this is the main overall energy coming in for today, okay, and might carry you through the weekend as well. And the Two of Spires in this deck is the Two of Swords. So you could be feeling like you're at a crossroads, okay, or you're needing to make some sort of decision. But sometimes when we do get this particular energy, it can be a little challenging. So you might need to take your time to make a decision. You might be trying to decide about bringing up a conversation with somebody, bringing up a subject, resolving some issues. And with this Two of Spires here, it's like, what is the best time to do that? So you might find that needs to be a little bit of a delay before you do bring something up. And it can very simply just be waiting until someone's in a better mood, or waiting until someone is a little bit more open to some conversation. But when we get this energy as well, it can bring a little bit of confusion or doubt. So it does remind us that sometimes the best way to make a decision is to go inward. What do you feel about it? What are you thinking about? Where's your intuition guiding you? And it does remind you that, often we do seek external sources for the answers or the validation that we need, but ultimately everything, the wisdom that we need to make the right decisions for ourselves, does lie internally. So there's not necessarily any need to go external, okay, to find out what we already know. We sometimes just need to face the truth. But the Two of Spires can represent that there needs to be some balance in your life somewhere, or you're trying to find ways to have a little more balance and harmony, and seek and you shall find. So again, turn inward. We have the Nine of Spires here as well. Now, this one's actually interesting because, beautiful card, right? But it is a blessing. So, and the Nine of Spires is the Nine of Swords. So if you've been tossing and turning on something, maybe you've had some sleepless nights because you've been trying to decide something, or there's something weighing on your mind, the Nine of Spires here in your blessings position shows that there's some relief in sight. Okay, maybe it's, maybe you do come to a final conclusion, you do make a decision, or you find that opportunity to get something out in the open and deal with the issue at hand. Sometimes we bottle things up. Sometimes we, make a mountain out of a molehill, right? Whenever we get the Nine of Spires, it shows we've been anxious or worried about something. Maybe you haven't been sleeping well, very simply, and the blessing is a resolution. Okay, so resolution, something that you thought was going to be horrible turns out to be fine, because sometimes that happens there as well. All right, but you could have a much better sleep, perhaps, than what you've been having so far. The Nine of Spires in your blessing can also be figuring out a dream, or figuring out why you're waking up in the middle of the night, if that's you. And it may be that you're woken up by some sort of dream, or maybe you figure out what your dream meant. I'd like to find what mine meant. Last night I had a weird dream that I was on a cruise ship, and the cruise ship docked right in front of my driveway, and the weirdest thing ever. And then it got tossed around, and we didn't capsize or anything like that, but it was like the weirdest thing ever. And then, so anyway, so kind of a weird one. Maybe I need a vacation. But anyway, so you could be interpreting a dream or figuring out why you're waking up. But better night's sleep for you. We have the Eight of Stones, and the Eight of Stones here is the Eight of Pentacles. And normally this is a really positive card. Okay, but this is in your challenge position. So are you working a lot of overtime? Are you overworked and tired, right? Sometimes when we're overworked, we do get too tired to sleep properly, right? So, it can be that you're overcoming a challenge by going to bed a little bit earlier, or changing up your routine, or hopefully recognizing that you need to knock off work a little bit earlier than you are. Sometimes we need to recognize things are still a tomorrow problem, right? We can't always resolve everything or get everything all done in one day. The Eight of Stones being in your challenge energy can also be that, you do have a lot of things to get done. Okay, and you're trying to figure out how to get them done, but you will get them done because it is in the upright. It is a positive card typically, and it's just a little bit of a challenge. Maybe you wake up on Friday morning and you don't want to go to work because Because you didn't sleep well, right? And so when you go home tonight, maybe you balance in mind, right? Maybe you don't want to go to work. You get up and go to work anyway, even though you're dragging yourself out of bed. You're tired because you didn't sleep too well, but then you get home, you do some self-care when you get home, and then you have a decent night's sleep. And that can literally be what these cards can mean for you. All right. But the Eight of Stones does also indicate here that there's something that you need to get done, or that you want to get done. Okay. And the challenge can be maybe finding the time to do it. It can be that you need to do a little bit of homework before you can get something done. The Eight of Stones can be like a DIY project, right? And it's like, okay, I know that I can do this around my home. Remember, Mercury going into Cancer can be something around your home. And, maybe this bright idea to switch something up, or to fix some things, but you don't quite know how to get started, or you don't quite know all the steps involved. So with that Eight of Stones there, you could need to crack a book, or do some research on the internet, or go down to your local hardware store and get some advice from whoever happens to be working on shift in that department. Anything from doing gardening to hanging some curtains to, maybe fixing that cabinet door that's been busted for a while, right? So there just could be something here that you don't have all the information that you need. So before you can finish your project, you need to go and do a little bit of homework, or ask for some help or direction. But ultimately, because it is a productive card, right, you can get something done. It just takes a little bit more time or effort than what you maybe had originally thought. We have the Seven of Tides here as your advice from Spirit. Okay, use your imagination. The Seven of Tides is the Seven of Cups. Number one, it can represent that we've got a lot of options. So you could be, kind of weighing up your options, thinking about your options, especially if you're at a crossroad. Maybe you have a job where you're working too hard for your money, and you're like, how can I make my money work for me instead? Or It shouldn't have to be this difficult, right? And looking for something that gives me a little bit more balance in my life, where I'm maybe not working two jobs or not working all these long hours. And so with the Seven of Tides, let your imagination go wild, because when we use our imagination or we do fantasize about something, we're kind of opening up some energetic doors for ourselves, and we're seeing the possibilities. That is the key, right? If we don't think there's any possibilities, we'll never find it because we're not open to see it. So this can certainly be where you are opening up your mind to some potential and some possibilities, right? This can also represent you need to get a little creative. And of course, the Eight of Stones can bring some creative energy. And so perhaps there's something fun and creative that you want to do. And it might feel like you have to move some mountains to get the time to do it, but Spirit's encouraging you to do that. If you are looking at making some change, or you do need to get something off the ground or make a decision, there's something holding you back with the Seven of Tides. Okay. So, because yes, this can be a really positive card, right? It can represent there's doors opening for you. You just need to get the courage to walk through one of them, right? But it can bring some confusion and doubt. Sometimes some fears come to light when we get this card, right? Because what ifs? What if I fail? What if I succeed? Right? And sometimes we can have, yes, a fear of failure is a real thing for a lot of people, but so is a fear of success. But ultimately, it can be a fear of change, right? So you might need to face your fears here with this energy, right? But like I said, there is some confusion here as well. So with the Eight of Stones can represent your knowledge. This can be where you might need to hit the books, or you might need to find out some information to clear up any kind of confusion and to get clarity on what do I do first? What are my steps that I need to take? Or, it can be a big subject, it can be a small subject, all right? But there could just be something that you need that little tidbit of information. And again, with Mercury moving into Cancer, this can bring some clarity to your situation, some clarity of mind somewhere in there. Okay. So, but ultimately get creative and, have some fun, daydream a little bit. Sometimes, this is all fairly minor energy here for you. I mean, what are you dreaming about? What are your wishes and your goals? What makes you happy? What fills you with joy? What would you want to fill your time and your hours with, right? We all have the potential and the possibility to change or to make some free time in our lives, right? And you've got this underlying energy here, this motivation of a wish, a goal, a dream. So dream big, and you just never know what may happen. Leave that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.